As Journey of Water, inspired by Moana, and Tiana's Bayou Adventure keep breaking down, Walt Disney World is having a struggle of their lifetime. Meanwhile, an executive from Universal Studios lets slip that just maybe Epic Universe might be opening earlier than expected. Let's talk about that on That Park Place. Hello, I am Jonas J. Campbell, an investigative reporter for That Park Place, and here with me is dragon trainer Mr. VashSky. Vash, how do you train your dragon?
Well, I go down to Isle of Berk, of course, and get advice from the Vikings. That's how I do it, and that's what you should be doing in 2025. But as we are noting here, Jonas, that might be closer than we think.
That's very true. And all of you, I don't know if you're following Alicia Stella and Orlando Park Stop for all of your Epic Universe news, but that's where I go. So I want to give a full shout out to her and her team there. They're doing fantastic work here. Usually we'll find out about things and then we'll hear some confirmation later, but always keep an eye on Alicia Stella and what she's doing over there. Orlando Park Stop. This story by, Alicia Stella. Universal Orlando update. Rip Ride Rocket rumors, Epic Universe news, and City Walk construction. This is actually a rather long article here, and they've got a news update. Look at that, DreamWorks Land and technical rehearsals. I'm going to say that she buried the lead. By the way, I love this new sign here that they've got for E.T. Adventure. I love that. And E.T., cool. Grown on me over the years, I got to say. I love it when they used to say my name, Jonas, over there. Now, we're going to skip all the way to the end of this article because this is the meat of why you are here. In this Epic Universe news update section, speaking of when Epic Universe opens, Steve Tatham, executive creative director of Epic Universe, speaking on the Super Bowl podcast last month, said something interesting about when the new park is set to open, and it was not summer of 2025. Early in the episode, Tatham says the following when summarizing Epic Universe. In short, it's a major new theme park in Orlando. It's a full-scale park, more than 100 acres, the size of existing major parks that are here in Orlando. That's a funny way to mispronounce Magic Kingdom. I need to revise that. Kilimanjaro Safari is the size of Magic Kingdom, so Disney's Animal Kingdom is technically larger than Magic Kingdom, but still, I think they're laying the smackdown on Disney as far as at least park size there, and it's set to open at the beginning of next year, before next summer. Vash, are you going to be going to Epic Universe when it opens?
I don't know about when it opens because it's hot over there in Florida around that time, but I will be going there probably the first year because, man, I got to see this for myself. I was fortunate enough to kind of drive past the site when I was last in Florida, and to see the scale of this was just alarming because I had spent, about 5 days at Universal Orlando property. So I had gotten very familiar with the scale and size and scope of their existing parks. To see this and just the epic nature of it was quite shocking.
There are things in that park that are so fascinating to me. First of all, we've got another video talking about Starfall Racers, which if there's ever any Starfall Racers merchandise that hits the market, I would really love to get my hands on it because it turns out that it's going to now be Stardust Racers. So any of you Universal executives that got your hands on that, please let me know. I would love to see it. This is a massive theme park with 5 new IP lands. Now, some of those are fresh new IPs, and some of them are very old IPs, some that we have not seen in a theme park for a very long time. Of course, Dark Universe, which sounds like it's going to be based on that Tom Cruise film. It's not. It's just based off of Universal Monsters. Over there, Super Nintendo World, we've already seen one of those, but it's sounding like we'll be having our own new, even bigger Super Nintendo World. Of course, we made the joke about Isle of Berk, and the videos from Isle of Berk look fantastic. Not to mention a Harry Potter land that is even bigger than we're imagining, I'm hearing from our sources. And then in the middle of it, you have Celestial Park, which I love the joke. It was almost like it was a pot. It's not a joke. It was a line. It was almost like it was a pot shot at Disney. They said Celestial Park, putting the park back in theme park. Fountains all over the place. It's going to be where you do the fireworks viewing. It sounds like there's going to be laser shows and water shows and all of these things working together. And it also sounds like it's going to be open to non-paying guests at a certain time of the evening. All of this ambitious stuff, this massive park, and they're saying, well, just maybe we're going to be opening this up early. I don't know if Disney is prepared for this right now. Vash, do you think this is going to have a big impact on Disney?
Huge. I think they're really trying to downplay just how enormous the impact will be for this. We're going to have some soft, I don't know, summers or some attendance patterns in the lead up to Epic Universe. And I get the sense that some of that is being done by guests, prospective guests, looking to push off their vacations in order to reap the benefits of everything that Florida has to offer around the summer of 2025, specifically Epic Universe, right? You have to assume that's the case, at least on some level. I talked about this before, but obviously Moffat-Nathanson came out with their estimates saying that the cannibalization might be in the form of about a million guests that would have otherwise gone to Walt Disney World that now Epic Universe is collecting. Also, too, the merchandise here, the merchandise and revenue potential has to be just enormous. And we have to believe, based on the merchandise that we've seen from Harry Potter in the past, from How to Train Your Dragon, which is still a top 5 seller in their parks right now, for the monster stuff, and for the Super Nintendo world, which we already know has moved gangbusters business, at least as it's existed in Hollywood.
I can only speak to the, okay, so we know from some of our sources that the Super Mario Brothers movie, they basically covered the cost of the Super Mario Brothers movie just in the delta, just in the change in revenue from merchandise sales, covered the cost of the Super Mario Brothers movie, not just for Universal, but also for Nintendo. So that was a massive hit. When we tell people that Nintendo is only going to get bigger, you think about how massive Nintendo is already and the fact that they now are the hottest new theme park IP that's out there, not to mention Harry Potter and the fact that they're going to be upgrading the wand. So everybody that's got a wand, get ready to buy a new version of every single one. And How to Train Your Dragon, by the way, apparently they pulled that out of the DreamWorks land. I'm not saying they ever planned to have it there, but DreamWorks land is sectioning off entire things here because they can now go to different sections of DreamWorks IP and say, no, we're going to do an entire land of it. It really looks like a lot of fun. I'm seeing some complaints that it's off the shelf rides and that Universal needs to be embarrassed that it's off the shelf. I don't think that's going to occur to anyone that isn't a super jaded theme park, I'm going to say snob here, because kids are going to look at that and they're going to think it's amazing. They're also pointing out that they're going to be doing dragons in the same way that they do wands and power-up bands over there for Super Nintendo World. This is the difference you have with Universal right now. You have people excited to spend money. They have room to grow in the market. And Moffat-Nathanson, I have to think that Bob Iger right now really hates when they talk. That 1 million that they're talking about pulling from Disney in the first year, Disney has to respond. And right now they don't have any IPs to respond with. They only have IPs that they are building in other places that people are like, maybe I'll go, maybe I won't. I don't know. There's only so many cruise ships that you can build in 1 year. And right now, Epic is on the way up. Vash, is there anything that we need to say before we wrap this up?
So in this 60 billion tranche of funding that we're supposed to be getting to turbocharge the parks, remember a lot of that's going to be on the latter half of that 10-year plan. So at earliest 2028 probably. That's after Bob Iger leaves. Who knows what happens from there? But we know in the short term that Tiana's Bay Adventure, folks, that's all we're getting from Disney for 3 years at the very, very least. Probably 4, most likely 5. Tiana's Bay Adventure. That's it. Whereas Universal, well, we just went over the gambit right here, but we have to presume that this is going to be just massive. And we got little indications from the hotel, the Stella Nova and the Terra Luna, that when they were opening up, it was going to be very, very early in 2025. So that was kind of our first indication that maybe, they're setting this up specifically because they believe that this park is going to open. Well, it turns out it might very well, in fact, make it before that summer debut, which is going to be perfect. You'll note that Tiana's Bay Adventure, a lot of the problems that they're experiencing right now is because they tried to rush it out before that summer. Doesn't seem like Universal's in the same area. At least we hope not.
Right. It took a very long time for Splash Mountain to be shut down, even after they announced. Of course, COVID. Yes, COVID happened. That I'm not saying anything there. But Tron took 6 years, despite the fact that they already knew exactly what that ride was going to be because they had already built one over in Shanghai. Of course, Journey of Water, inspired by Moana, is also on that list. World Showcase Gardens or World Celebration, whatever the name is of the botched theme park garden there at Epcot. It doesn't matter. It was broke when it opened, and so they had to build it again real quick. And now all of those are coming down, and all the walls are coming down, and we see it for what it is, a festival place that isn't going to have any festivals for about 100 days or so. Whatever's going on at the Walt Disney Company, they need to get their house in order. We're rooting for them here to get their house in order and to do it quickly. Country Bear might be a step in the right direction there. Obviously, Country Bear's not an appropriate response to Epic Universe. That being said, we want to throw this to our audience. What do you think Disney could do to fix this situation and answer Epic Universe? Are you going to be going in that earlier window that might be happening here? Are you one of those annual pass holders who might be getting those preview emails maybe a little sooner than you expected? Let us know in the comment section down below. Of course, like this video if you like this video, and consider subscribing to That Park Plays for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.